الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. أبنائنا الطلاب ممتحنين للشهادة السودانية، بناتنا الطالبات ممتحنات الشهادة السودانية، حقيقة أنا سعيد جدا نستمر في تقديم حصصنا معاكم أو ليكم حقيقة في قناة التفوق. وحقيقة أبدأ بشكر الجزيل لأسرة قناة التفوق لتقديم هذا العمل الرائع، ونتمنى من الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يوفقنا ويديكم الفرصة بتاعت أنكم تحققوا درجات كويسة في جميع المواد. حقيقة بالنسبة للغة الإنجليزية هنستمر إن شاء الله في تقديم اللي هو الليل إن شاء الله هتكلم عن اللي هو الكومبوزيشن. hope everybody can see the blackboard clearly. السبورة تكون واضحة. Yes. You must have your sheet of paper and then your pen so that you can write. Yes. The very thing أول شيء you are going to write a composition. Yes. Something like 120 minimum words 120 كلمة. minimum حد أدنى. maximum 180 words أقصى عدد 180 كلمة. But I always advise my students to write, let me say, 120 words, because the more you write, the more you make mistakes. So if you write 120, it is going to be okay. See, if you write 120, it's going to be okay, because I say that it is better for the students to write, let me say, the minimum number, العدد المحدد الأقل 120 120. Before we talk about the topic that we have on the board, yes, I must remind you that أذكرك the marks درجات of the composition 15 marks 15 درجة. So make sure أتأكد you get let me say good marks from composition. Writing composition is just a matter of practice. In Arabic you say ممارسة. The more you practice, the more you become good at writing compositions. Don't say that I do not know how to write composition. This is not a solution. ده محل. You have to practice. عليك أن تمارس. You write. Yes, you are going to make mistakes, of course. But don't worry about the mistakes that you make. Write the first time. أكتب أول مرة. You are going to make mistakes. Definitely your teacher is going to show you the mistakes that you have made. You are going to make correction, تصويب for those mistakes. And then you write the second time. You make mistakes. Again, the teacher is going to tell you the mistakes that you have made. You will make correction for them. And then you write for the third time. I'm sure your mistakes الأخطاء بتاعك will disappear. أخطاءك هتختفي gradually. So I do not want the students to be afraid of writing compositions. They must try to write. حاول اكتب. Write. First time, second time, third time, until you become a good composition writer. When you come to write a composition, I must tell you that the most important thing is you write the title of the composition. Yes, of course we are going to write this composition together. You write the title of the composition on the top of the page, and then you underline it. Yes, this is very important. And then you write the composition, of course, in paragraphs. You must make sure that you make paragraphing. فقرات. Yes, each point أي نقطة will be in a separate paragraph. When you come to write the paragraph, you must make sure that you leave a space. خلي المسافة بتاعت بوصة from the left margin. Yes, and we will do this together inshallah. It will be clear for you. Then make sure that your handwriting خط is readable. This is number one, and it is clear. And then it is what? It is clean. You will be given marks for that. Again, you must make sure that your composition is free from the grammar and the spelling mistakes. أخطاء النحوية والإملائية. Make sure that your composition is free from the grammar and spelling mistakes. Again, don't forget the punctuation marks. In Arabic you say علامة الترقيم. The full stop at the end of the sentence. The capital letter. Yes, when you begin a sentence, you begin it a capital letter and you put full stop at the end of the sentence. And then you must make sure that, yes, your handwriting as a whole is readable. مقروء. Yes. Of course, we are going to write this composition together so that you will have, let me say, a complete idea, فكرة كاملة about writing compositions. I'm going to begin myself by saying that writing composition depends on practice. تعتمد على الممارسة because it is a skill مهارة. If somebody wants to be good at a certain skill, he must practice that skill. You want to be good at writing, so you must practice writing. Again, if you want to be good at reading, you must practice reading. Yeah. If you want to be good at, let me say, listening, you must practice listening. If you want to be good at speaking, you must practice speaking. Don't be afraid. Yes. So I always advise the students to practice writing compositions. I have started by saying that, yes, the composition is something like 120 حد أدنى minimum 180 words. But I ask my students, I advise my students to write 120 words. It's okay. See, the marks of the composition, yes, 15 marks. Of course, you have your pen and then your sheet of paper. We will see, let me say the points together, and then I'm going to write the topic on the blackboard so that you will be, let me say, clearly about what I teach. I say that I always use as simple English as possible so that the students can follow the explanation of the lesson from my mouth and then the blackboard. Again, I'm going to repeat myself again and again so that the students can understand the explanation of the lesson from my mouth and then the blackboard. And then the last point, النقطة الأخيرة, I don't mind, ليس لدي اعتراض, to use some Arabic words if it is possible. Here, the composition that we have today, yes, the title of course is very clear here. I hope you can see it. Life in rural areas. Life, الحياة in rural areas. Rural, reef. Areas, مناطق الريفية. Life in rural areas. This is the title of the composition. Then we will be given points. حدينا نقاط. Yes, we will read the points and then we will come and write the composition together. Of course, don't forget your, let me say, your pen and then your sheet of paper. Let us begin by reading the points. Point number 1, pleasant. Yes, life in rural areas. Pleasant, رائعة. Healthy, صحية. Yes, people live in peace. Peace, سلام, وئام. Yes, people are friendly, ودودين, friendly, ودود, and helpful. Yes, مستعدين أن يساعدوا بعضهم البعض. Yes, this is point number 1. This is going to be a paragraph. It's going to be our introduction. Yes, you must remember that in a composition you have 3, let me say, parts. 3 أجزاء. The first part is called the introduction, مقدمة. And then the second part, of course, is called the composition body. And then the last part is called the conclusion. So we begin the introduction, مقدمة. Yes, this is the introduction. Pleasant, let me say it again. Healthy, حياة في الريف, صحية. People live in peace. الناس يعيشون في سلام ووئام. Friendly, I hope this is clear. Friendly, yeah, friendly, Friendly. ودود, yes, friendly, yes. And then helpful, yes, they can help each other. يساعدون بعضهم البعض. This is point number 1. Yes, I hope we are going to write this point first. When we come to write this point, I'm going to leave a space of 1 inch from the left margin. This is my margin, the left margin, هامش الأيسر. Yes, I'm going to leave a space of 1 inch from the left margin. Yes, I'm going to say what? Life in rural areas is, yes, always, yes, here we have pleasant, Pleasant, be sure of the spelling of the word that you write, and, yes, healthy, صحية. You put full stop at the end of the sentence. Yes. And then you say what? The rural people, سكان الريف, the rural people are, yes, because this is plural. Yes, sorry. The rural people live, إنهم يعيشون, live in peace, سلام ويام. Full stop at the end of the sentence. Make sure that your sentences are short. جمل قصيرة. Yes. Also, أيضا, they here refers to the rural people. Yes, they are friendly, say ودودين, and helpful. You can add something from, let me say, your mind if you want. Yes. Then نتيجة لذلك they help انهم يساعدونا help each other yes in what in building في بناء building houses بناء المنازل and harvesting see جرا and harvesting crops. This is the end of the first paragraph. Make sure that when you finish a paragraph you read it. Why? Because if there is any spelling mistake or grammar mistake you can correct it. Yes, we said that this is the introduction. مقدمة. The title of the composition is very simple. Life in rural areas. حي في الريف. I have started my paragraph by leaving a space of 1 inch from the left margin. مسافة بتاعت بوصة من الهامش. And then I'm going to read. Life in rural areas is always pleasant and healthy. You see, full stop at the end of the sentence. The rural people, سكان الريف, live in peace. إنهم يعيشون في وئام في سلام. Also, you see, yes, full stop, capital A, because this is a new sentence. And then you must make sure that you put a comma after also. They are friendly and helpful. Yes. Then نتيجة لذلك they help each other إنهم يساعدون بعضهم البعض in building houses and harvesting crops حصاد المحصولات. Then we'll go to the next point النقطة التي تلي هذه النقطة. This is the first paragraph. It's going to be the first paragraph in the composition body. Yes, you remember I said that the composition has 3 parts. I'm going to repeat myself again. The first part is the introduction, مقدمة, and then the second part is the composition body, and then the third part is the introduction. Yes, I have forgotten to tell you that the introduction is always 1 paragraph. You know, you say فقرة واحدة, just 1 paragraph. But the composition is the composition body is more than 1 paragraph. So here we are going to have 2 paragraphs in the composition body. Yes, what is this point? Yeah, the point says work العمل في الريف start early morning صباح الباكر. Go to farms. يعني some people go to their farms يذهبون إلى مزارعهم. Look after animals بعضهم يرعى الحيوانات التي يعتنون بتربيتها. Finish work إنهم ينتهون من العمل before sunset قبل غروب الشمس. Now we are going to write this paragraph. Again, I'm going to leave a space of 1 inch from the left margin. You can follow me. Yes, we say the work العمل in rural areas في الريف in rural areas usually عادة yeah we have start we are going to add s to the verb because this is present simple. Yeah, fact starts عادة starts يبدأ early morning صباح الباكر full stop at the end of the sentence. Yeah, some people بعض الناس go to their farms. Of course, if you want to add something, you can add. Yes, you can say they go to their farms to grow crops or water in Arabic we say يروي water them. Instead of water we can say irrigate. Full stop. But the others لكن الآخرين the other rural people look after يرعون يهتمون بتربية look after yes their animals. You must make sure that your handwriting is readable. Yes, you must make sure that you join the letters of each word as far as possible and then you make a space تجعل مسافة between the word and the other. Yes, and then here we have the last point. Yes, we say they usually عادة finish their work العمل yes before sunset غروب الشمس sunset yes غروب الشمس. If you want to add something you can add. Yes, you can say then or after that they return يرجع to their their houses منازلهم happily happily full stop. This is the end of my second paragraph. You see, very simple. Yeah, we read the paragraph to make sure that everything is okay. So here it's going to be like this. The work in rural areas عمل في الريف usually starts يبدأ early morning صباح الباكر. Some people بعض الناس بعض rural people ناس الريف go to their farms يذهبون إلى مزارعهم to grow crops. I hope it's clear, to grow crops or water them. Of course the pronoun them here refers to the crops. You see, water here is used as a verb استخدمه كفعل يروي. We can write irrigate, or we can write water, يروي, but the others الآخرين, the other rural people, those who do not go, let me say, to their farms, look after their animals. They usually عادة finish their work العمل before sunset. After that بعد ذلك they return إنهم يرجعون to their houses happily وهم سعداء. This is the second paragraph. You see here, the beginning of the first paragraph, then the beginning of the second paragraph. The beginning of the second paragraph is directly مباشرة under the beginning of the first paragraph. This is very clear. This is going to be organized composition. They will give you marks for that. And then we have the third point, نقطة الثالثة. It says what? It says roles. In Arabic you say أدوار. The roles. الأدوار التي يقومون بها سكان الريف. Men work in farms. الرجال يعملون في المزارع. Women help men. يساعدون الرجال في عمل المزارع. Look after houses. بيرعوا المنازل. The women look after the houses. منازل. Children الأطفال play and feed animals. Now we are going to write this paragraph. Of course, we are going to leave a space of 1 inch and then we begin the paragraph, the third paragraph. I can say the work, العمل. Sorry, not the work. The rural people, I'm very sorry. The rural people have different roles أدوار to play. إنهم يلعبون أدوار مختلفة. We are going to give examples for that. For example, the men and رجال, the men, this one is clear, the men work يعملوا in the farms, مزارع, full stop. This is about the men. What about the women? The women, I hope you can see the point there. The women, make sure that the spelling is okay. The women help the men, يساعدون الرجال, in the farm work. And what else? And I hope you can see it. I look after إنهم يرعون their houses. We have the third category, المجموعة الثالثة. These are the children, but لكن الأطفال, the children in rural areas always دائما play يلعبون different, I hope it's going to be clear, different games, different games, and feed يطعم the the last one, the animals. This is the end of the sentence. I'm going to put full stop, and this is the end of the paragraph, of course. I'm going to read it so that you will be sure that everything is clear for you. Here, the paragraph begins. It is directly below the beginning of the first and then the second paragraph. The rural people have different roles to play. Those roles أدوار. For example, مثال, the men, الرجال, work in the farms, يعملون في المزارع. The women help the men in the farm work, يساعدون الرجال في عمل المزارع. And look after their houses, يقومون برعاية منازلهم. But لكن but the children الأطفال always play different games, yes, and then feed the animals. Feed, in Arabic we say يطعم. Yes, then we have the last point, النقطة الأخيرة. Yes, I hope you can see it. Advantages, in Arabic we say المحاسن. Advantages of life in rural area. Easy life, حياة سهلة. No air pollution, noise pollution. In Arabic we say تلوث ضوضائي، تلوث الهواء، تلوث ضوضائي، noise pollution. Yes, free from in Arabic we say خالية من. worries توترات. And anxiety, this is a noun from anxious قلق. Yes, anxiety قلق. Yes, you can say spelling anx sorry, iety, anxiety. It is a noun from anxious. Now I'm going to begin the last paragraph. This is a conclusion. We say it. Yes, say what? Finally, capital FINA double LY. I prefer the students to use the word finally when they come to start the conclusion. Yes, khatima. Yes, finally we can say, yeah, life in rural areas has a number of advantages. محاسن. Advantage, full stop. It is always, yes, easy life. Yes, it is always easy life. And then the next point, yes, it has no air pollution, تلوث هواء, pollution, or noise pollution. The last sentence, above all, أهم من كده, above, let me write it here, above, and then we have all, أهم من ذلك, above all, the people, or the rural people, you can say the rural people, سكان الريف are, yes, always, دايما, خالين من, free from, yes, worries, WORRIES, and anxiety, ANXIETY. This is the end of the last sentence in the conclusion paragraph. Again, we are going to read it. I want the students to be careful when they come to write the composition. They must make sure that whenever they write a paragraph, they read the paragraph, yes, to make sure that the handwriting is readable, and then there is no spelling or grammar mistake in their writing. So now we are going to read the last paragraph. The last paragraph, which is called the conclusion, says, yes, finally, في الختام, there is a comma, yes, this is a punctuation mark. Life in rural areas has a number, عدد من, a number of advantages, عدد من المحاسن. Yes, now we are going to mention the advantages. It is always easy life, حياة سهلة. It has, I hope it is clear for everybody, it has no تلوث هواء or noise pollution, تلوث ضوضائي. Above all, yes, above all, there is a comma. Yes, the rural people, سكان الريف, are always free from, خالين من, the worries, توترات, and anxiety. You see, this is what we call the conclusion, خاتمة. Yes, I'm going to conclude my lesson by saying that the composition is very important, مهمة جدا. In the examination في الامتحان, you have, say, a topic, موضوع. Yes, they give you the points and the got. Yes, the points are organized, منظمة. Each point, give us a paragraph. I just want the students to be careful when they come to write the composition. Yes, they must begin writing the composition by writing the title, العنوان of the composition on the top of the page. And then when they come to write each paragraph, أي فقرة, they must, let me say, begin the paragraph by leaving a space of 1 inch from the left margin. You see, I told you that writing a composition is not something difficult. I just want the students to practice writing composition, because the more you practice قدر ما تمارس the more you become a good composition writer. Of course, with this بهذه المسألة I come to the conclusion of my lesson for today. أختم حصتي وأشكركم شكر جزيل على هذا الحضور، وأتمنى لكم التوفيق والسداد، وأكرر شكري وامتناني أسرة قناة التفوق لتقديم هذا العمل. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.